Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Amanda and today I have a set of coloured pencils. These are the Woomer set. I have just been sent them. I'm going to test them out and review them for you. I did get sent them by Woomer, so just a disclaimer there, but I will tell you my true honest thoughts about these and I will test them out extensively before I give my opinions on them. But I am super excited to try them out. I've heard really good things about them and yeah, let's just open them up, shall we? This is the back of the case. It has the 72 pencils here and then it says easy to blend, 3.8mm soft core, break resistant lead, wide range of colours, richly saturated pigments. They come from China. I believe this brand also has some watercolours as well. They were going to send me those, but I don't use watercolours, so I asked for coloured pencils instead. Well, I do use watercolours, but not the type that they were going to send me. It looks sort of kind of like koi watercolours, which I already kind of have and don't want to use. Okay, so there is a swatch sheet in here, but it's kind of annoying that it's in this because you have to rip it or cut it. And I don't like ripping and I don't want to cut because I don't want to get up from my desk to do so. So I wish that they just put a swatch card in the actual tin, but whatevs. Let's open it up and see. Sorry about the glare of my lights. Ooh, okay. So here we go. There's 72 of these. They do look nice. I will tell you that. They look snazzy. Oh, right away the trays are really weird. I don't like them. Trays are very flimsy, but I don't usually leave them in the trays anyway, and I probably won't leave them in the trays. This is a weird colour to have in the middle here. I'll probably rearrange them in a sort of order that makes sense to me, unless it's supposed to be there and it's just moved by accident. I don't know, we will see. But yeah, and there's a random pink here as well, but I think what they've done is they have sorted it into pinky purples, pinky oranges. There looks like there's a good colour range here. Some yellows, some fleshy tones, some oranges. There's only a couple of oranges, some pinks, doesn't look like there's much reds, a couple of blues. This is a very pale blue. I'm excited for that one. I'll probably use that one a lot. Some teal colours here. Purples. Greens. Wide range of greens. Probably a green gold. I don't know if they have the names on them yet. Yeah, green gold. And then some browns and some greys and a black. And they also have a white. So that's exciting. Yeah, let's bring one out and have a look at it. So it's going to be really hard to see in my light because they are gold. I wish that companies didn't do that. So it says leaf green, but I have to like really look at it in a certain light to see it. But yeah, I'm just excited to play with these, and I think the first book that I'm going to colour in with them is A Million Sea Creatures, and I'll probably record this as my first impressions. I haven't done this book yet. I'm thinking about doing this page first, which is quite a big one, but I have an idea for the colour palette here, so I'm super excited. So let's just get into it, shall we? Okay, hello, welcome. I am back. And it's been a hot minute, but I wanted to really test these pencils out. As you can see, I have been doing so. They are a little bit shorter than they used to be, and I have used them extensively, even though it doesn't seem like it because they're quite long still. I've moved them into this case because I don't keep my pencils typically in a case, but these are Prismacolors and these are Woomers, and I've put them with the Prismacolors because they work really well with each other and I'm super excited about it. So I've moved them to this case typically because I don't actually keep my pencils, as you can see, in cases like this. I tend to keep them like this because it's much easier for me and it's just nicer. They're cuter. I will say about this case, and this is probably the only con, spoiler alert, that I have about these pencils, and that is that the case itself is okay, but this tray thing is very flimsy. It's basically worthless. I definitely would not recommend keeping your pencils in this case. I've dropped them several times because of the way that this case works. Not only is the plastic very flimsy, but these little things are like really annoying and impossible to lift up properly without slipping or getting your nail in the way if you have long nails. I have pretty short nails and keep them short, so I don't have that much of a problem, but I definitely would discard these. If they could improve upon the plastic in the case for people that do like to keep them in cases, that would be a suggestion that I would have. But the case itself is good. It's pretty deep. I think it's a lot deeper than other cases. Let me just get an example. Okay, I think I lied. This is the Pro Colour case. I like the fact that there's hinges on the case, to be honest. I actually do like that. Because having a lid like this is kind of annoying. But even the plastic for the Derwent isn't that great, but it is a lot sturdier than this plastic. So it's a little bit more sturdy, but it's still the same kind of concept. But they do seem to be easier to get out if you just push here and it comes out. But yeah, I think I lied about the depth though. I think they are pretty much the same. So if we compare, but obviously they're smaller. This is a 72 set as well, so it's actually less depth, I think. They are good tins to like keep things in, I think, and it would be a waste to throw them out. So I'm going to keep this for other supplies. I don't know what yet, but I will. And I love it because it's nostalgic to me. It kind of reminds me of the Reavers brand that I used to get when I was a kid. So that's about the case. Let's get into the actual pencils now. I have a little blurb here about them. Unfortunately, I don't think I have a swatch of them anymore, but I will be doing swatches, I think, in my little swatch book. I have a caddy paper swatch book. I started doing the Derwent Pro Colour in here and I ended up not. So I think we need 1, 2, 3. We need roughly 3 pages, so 1. Cool. I will do swatches on this paper and let you know how that goes. I'm excited to tell you everything about these pencils. So I have a little note here. I did go back and ask Zoe, the kind person that contacted me to send me these, to ask her a few questions, and a couple of them were answered. So I'm going to probably swatch while I talk about these facts, and then at the end of the video I'm going to show you examples of things that I've already done with the pencils and talk about stuff. So this is a 72 set. I am unsure about the price right now, but I think the last time I checked they were like £28. But there's a lot of deals and sales on and codes that I can share with you in the description below as well if you want to try these out. There is a 90s colour set available now featuring lighter tones overall, which I'm really excited about, because one thing I will say about these is that there aren't very many lighter tones. There are a few, but it did seem to me that they were quite just dark overall. Even the yellows, like there's not that much of a like really light ivory tone. So I'm kind of looking forward to getting those. And I'm quite excited to see that there's actually a small open stock range. They're doing a small scale trial of open stock pencils and you can get 133 individual colours. I'm unsure why they've did a 90 set and a 72 set and they are not going to be doing an 133 set, but you can get them. So that's exciting. But currently you have to buy them as a 2. So you get the same pencil in the pack twice. But it is really, really cheap. I think it's £1.11 for 2 pencils, which is insane, especially with the quality that they are. I honestly think that these, spoiler alert, are my favourite budget pencil so far anyway, especially because individual open stock is exciting. However, if these do pick up and they get popular, then the open stock won't last very long, and apparently it's going to take a year to restock the open stock, which is a shame. But I'm hoping that they get
lots and lots of orders so that they can fly off the shelves and restock really quickly. Maybe they can see like, wait a minute, these are flying off the shelves, let's restock them sooner. So I'm excited about that. There is a $20 minimum order limit, so you can't order from their website unless it's £20, which is cool. I like that. I think I will be buying some individual colours just to add to this sort of range, because even though there was an extensive match with the Prismacolors that I have the 72 Prismacolor set and the 72 Woomer set, and there was only a couple that I didn't have in the Prismas compared to the Woomers and vice versa. So that's exciting. If you are a Prisma person, especially in Europe and the UK and stuff, you will find it difficult to get these pencils, these pencils, the Prismacolors. So it's really nice that you can get the Woomers easily. I will show you a pencil here, up close and personal, if you like. This is the pencil, and they are nice. I like them. I find the writing on it easy to read. Some people would probably struggle with it. They have the colour name WP, which I'm guessing is Woomer Pencil, 420, and then the name, which is light green. They also have a barcode, which obviously does indicate open stock. And then they have a little blurb here that says made in China. Really hard to read with my camera there. And then it's got the Woomer, and it's got colour pencil written on there as well with their little cute logo. I think it's an owl. So yeah. The pencils are nice. I'm not going to go into like super logistics with them. There's plenty of channels out there that do, you know, comparisons and measuring the core and all that stuff. I'm not for that. You do, however, need a decent pencil sharpener with them. I was on holiday and I used my mother-in-law's pencil sharpener and it was not good. But this pencil sharpener, the Helix one, works really well with them. Even this pencil sharpener, which is just a cheap Faber-Castell one, works really well. And this one works really well as well. They hold their point amazingly. Anyway, we're going to get into the actual goodness about these pencils soon. I'm going to go through the rest of the notes that I got from the person that sent me them. So Lightfast claims. It claims that these are Lightfast, and there is little Lightfast markers on these pencils. And I find it super hard to believe that these are extensively Lightfast. She sent me the report, but to be honest, looking at it, I don't even know what half of this stuff means. But I looked at the date and see this one's got 3 and this one's got 4. I don't think any of them have 5 stars. I don't think they can claim that. I'm not sure. I'm looking for the cadmiums because they usually are more Lightfast. That's a cad yellow and it's got 4 stars. Anyway, there's a lot of debate about whether they're actually Lightfast or not. They did the test for 10 days in a lab, so I'm not really sure if they are emulating 100 years in a lab over 10 days and if they can figure that out, but I'm not actually that bothered by Lightfastness, as I don't sell my work, and the work that I have that I've used non-Lightfastness stuff for, like Kimi gouache isn't Lightfast, and I've used loads of stuff like that. I've actually given it to my mother-in-law. She's had it in her house for a while behind glass and it's not faded. And if it does fade, it doesn't really matter. I don't think you notice that much. But if you are looking for a professional set, I would stay clear of these. In my personal opinion, I would go for something like Luminance or even Polychromos. Apparently they are oil-based wax, so they're not 100% oil-based. That's the way she described it. I'm not sure. Again, I'm not that well versed, but they do feel oily and waxy. They feel a lot like Prismacolor, I'm not going to lie. There is barely any difference. So I'm going to show you something real quick, but let me talk about where you can get them and stuff like that first. So there is a 50% off code right now and it's valid until the 27th of November. I'm not sure, I will put it in the description below, but you can go and get that from Amazon US, and then on their store-wide website, it's 10% off right now. Use the code in the comments below as well. And then you can also get them on AliExpress from Brazil, I believe. I'm not sure if, but they're 10% off there as well, and the codes will be in the description below if you want to try your hand at these lovely pencils. So let me show you the test that I did. Well, not test, but the sort of like comparison I did. Now, I actually got this little sheet from Karen at My Colourful Country Life, and I coloured them in. So on the left hand side is the Prismacolors, and on the right it is the Woomers. So there are, as you can see, very close matches to these colours. Like, you cannot tell the difference. Some of them you can. There's quite a big difference in a lot of them. It's really hard to find a decent orange, by the way, and a lot of oranges, because they either lean too yellow or too red, in my opinion. And there was a couple that I was a bit skeptical of Karen's choice. I'm sorry, Karen, if you're watching this, but I was like, surely there's a different match than this kind of violet or this violet or whatever, but there actually wasn't. So I actually think that this Magnes Violet matches whatever this one is, and I did add my own versions. Obviously this isn't a great match either. There is a lot that match, and it is quite exciting to see that. And obviously I don't have some of them, like I don't have the peacock green from the Prismacolor, so I couldn't match that. And I think I didn't have the amethyst either. There was a couple that I didn't have, and I changed them up. I don't think I had the cerulean blue either, but I changed it to Copenhagen blue, and I did a little bit of changes here as well, just to test them all and stuff. I didn't have the light green, but I had a true green. So lots of different comparisons there, but they feel very similar. In fact, sometimes I thought that they felt better than the Prismacolors, depending on what the pencil was. But I've had my Prismacolors for over 10 years now, so maybe that might be what it is. But it was really fun to compare these, and to be honest, if I was to pick a set of the 72 over Woomer or Prismacolor, I think I would go with the Woomer set, even if the Prismacolors were easy to get. Now I'm going to show you my example pages that I've been doing. I have a lot of work in progress going on with these pencils as well. This is done with the Woomers. The green stuff is actually done with Staedtler Norris pencils, but everything else, including the turtle, is done with Woomer, and I'm really happy with the way that they're coming out. I love the finish of them. They are quite shiny and there is a bit of wax bloom, but I actually enjoy that. I don't know why, but I do, and I can't wait to do the rest of the page on this side and actually finish this up. But yes, they're just a joy to use. They're smooth, they go down nicely, they blend easily. Like, I think Woomer pencils made me appreciate my Prismas more as well, because I used to be a polychromos gal, but I've actually been really enjoying my Prismacolors too. Again, I would definitely choose the Woomers over that, but I am excited to try the other colours, if that's going to be possible for me, maybe next year when I have a little bit more funds available, or maybe as a treat myself Christmas present, who knows. But this page is also done with Woomers apart from the background. So this grey and the brown and this brown in the background isn't Woomers, but the rest is. And again, they just blend beautifully and lay down really smoothly and nice. Sorry, I'm not telling you what these are, these books and stuff. They work wonderfully in Lumio books. I'm not happy with this page and I don't actually like it, but the Woomers worked perfectly well, blended amazingly, laid down. They're so bright and vibrant and just lovely looking. So this page was also done with the Woomers. The mushrooms were done with Castle Arts, but the rest of the page was Woomers. And again, just awesome work, amazing, laid really nicely. This paper is not the best and there's a lot of transfer, but this is a work in progress that I have been doing with the Woomers as well. This is a work in progress, so they go down really nicely, to be honest, and they are lovely pencils. I love them. This is Prismacolor, by the way, but the difference is not that different, to be honest. So this is actually my favourite piece that I've done with the Woomers, and this just shows you how good they are. I mean, Lulu Mail is, I think, my favourite books to use the Woomers in. They are just so vibrant and really nice, and I just love how easy they are to use. This was done all with Woomers, nothing else. Well, apart from Posca pen. Look at that. How easy it is to get shadows and highlights and just a variety of colour and range. So I'm really happy with it. So I did this page with Woomers as well, and this is on top of gesso. And if you don't know, gesso is a medium or a ground. It's basically a thick textured medium that you can put on your pages to protect your paper from water or paint, basically. So if you were going to use oil paints or acrylics on your pages, or even oil pastels or whatever, you would use this, and it's very rough texture. So the Woomers really held up very well with this. As you can see, or as you could see, I'll show you again how much I've used them, but how little they have went down. Some of them I had problems sharpening. I dropped this one on a hard concrete surface, so it's a little broken, but it's doing okay. And this one I was having trouble sharpening, but other times, you know, they are very long still, especially these ones. I was using, as you can see, I was using this colour scheme quite a lot, and they're not even that far down on this gesso page, and the gesso is really rough, so it was holding up very well. Actually, it was holding up a lot better than the Prismacolors, so I was really happy with the outcome of that. But I will say that I'm slightly confused, because this is a page that I have also done, and we will try and see if we can zoom in a little bit more so you can see it properly. Sorry for the light, and I know it's not the best. This is the texture here. So basically I layered a lot with this pumpkin, and the texture was kind of hard to, like, it wouldn't lay down properly. It was kind of getting gummy and sticky, and I couldn't layer anymore. So I think I outlived the layers, but on other papers they work fine. I haven't tested them on high quality like artist papers or anything like that, but I'm sure that they would do pretty well. I'm going to test that out, and maybe I will post something on my Instagram or somewhere about that. I'll do a little illustration. I'm not someone that does original artwork with coloured pencils, but it would be fun to see what I've learned from doing colour books. I usually paint, so that would be exciting. But definitely, I don't think the layer, to be honest, I haven't really used Prismacolors all that much to compare, so I'm not sure if this is correct or not, or if the Prismacolors would start to do this as well with how many layers I put on. I think there must be about 7 or 8 layers on this, so it started to really get gunky and just refused to lay down after that, which I don't really usually do that many layers in my colour pages anyway. Colouring is a quick sort of relaxing art form for me, so I'm not that bothered about it. So yeah, I am really excited by these pencils, and I will continue to use them, keep you updated on them, and I hope that I get the chance to try the other colours out as well, and see how the rest of them compare to Prismacolors, because they are really good, awesome pencils, and I am really excited to try. As for the colour range, I do like it. Like I said, it's very close to the Prismacolor range, so I can't really complain at that, but there are some browns missing, like some ashy tone browns, maybe some darker ready tone browns, some lighter ready tone browns are missing, but again, this is quite similar to the Prismacolor, so you can't really complain. And then the greys are a little bit strange as well, so there's like a warm grey and a cool grey, and then there's a bluey grey, lighter cool grey, a browny grey, and then there's like a sort of neutral grey that they've called city grey. So it's quite hard to do a gradient of greys in this set. I think they really need to look at their greys. I think I would probably prefer a set of like a really light, or even lighter than this, maybe this light warm grey, and then like a mid-tone warm grey and a dark warm grey, and then the same with the cool greys rather than all these random bluey greys. The blue, I like the blue grey, but it doesn't really relate to any other colour, so it's kind of hard to blend it in with other colours. So I would prefer to kind of omit this colour, and maybe even, that would be my neutral grey, I think. It's called Warm Grey 3. So yeah, this is like the middle grey. And then I probably would have a darker grey, and there's no Payne's grey either, which is a bit weird. So yeah, but the green range is really nice. I've sort of changed the way that these are from what way that they have them, but they've got a really nice green range, they've got a really nice sort of tealy range and blue range, and then purples are really nice as well. The pinks are extensive. There's only a small selection of reds and oranges that are really, you could call red and oranges. I think we need, I mean, this is a darker red, but I think maybe we need a little bit more of a selection of reds and oranges, especially oranges, because this is your only true orange. And then you have a sort of vermilion orange here that's called pale vermilion, but those are the only real oranges. You don't even have that much lighter orange. I mean, this one is a sort of light orange, but it's kind of named light salmon, which I'm guessing is sort of more related to fleshy tones than actual orange colours. So yeah, that is my thoughts on the pencils. I hope that you had a good time, and I hope that you learned a lot, and I hope that you go and try them out, because they definitely deserve a little try out, and I'm excited about it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please remember to comment, like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you so much for your support, and I will see you next time. Bye.